Alright, I got the first bike I wanted, the Raider, and I got the first slot. So they're going to have the riders meeting in just a couple minutes here. It takes about 10 minutes, and then we go out for the ride, which takes 20 to 25. So here's what I'm taking out. Their big Fun V Twin. It's an 1131. 113 cubic inches. I don't know what that translates to. 1800 cc's? Something like that. It's big. Should have some nice torque. Nice looking bike. Long rake. Interesting. I haven't ridden one of this quite of a stretch. Closest one I did was a Boulevard M109, I believe it was. That's pretty normal. Nice looking belt drive. Should be pretty cool. Alright, we're just about to do the riders meeting, and then I'll flip back over to the helmet cam. Alright, gearing up here. Only got 5 riders in this group.
Alright, sir, if you could just start up. We're trying to get this line out before the other one comes in.
In other words, hurry up. Alright. Here we go. Ooh, low center of gravity. That's nice. You cannot coast on this at super low speed with this rake. Holy monkey. Gotta adjust my mirrors here too. There we go. Heavy, heavy steering. At least sitting still. I'm just comparing this to everything else I've ridden. Feels really chunky. Big, thick grips. He stalled out. I'm probably going to too. Oh, where are the foot pegs? They are really forward. Let me get a feel for this clutch action. Pretty much the same as FGR. So that's cool. These forward controls are actually kind of comfy being down this low. I wouldn't want them on a standard bike by any means. But this gives you the easy sit up and beg. Come on, dude, you don't stop. This gives you the easy sit up and beg position here. Dude, you're supposed to be in staggered formation. Which way are you taking? This guy's an ass. He keeps weaving back and forth. They told us specifically how to ride. Got a clunky but a very smooth transmission. I mean, you kick it and you feel it, it goes ka-chunk. But the engagement is very butter smooth, a lot smoother than my FJR. Let's see how we turn. Oh man, this does not want to turn. Holy moly. Love the torque though. It's got just as much as my FJR. Dude, I am gonna smack you. Got that V-twin thump, obviously. Okay, this guy's just an ass. Great exhaust noise. Vibration is extremely low. I mean, the seat, very comfy, very squishy. It has a big back lip on it. It's really holding me in place. It feels like well, you hit the rev limiter real quick. Gobs of power. Very nice. See what top gear feels like. Looks like a 5-speed. Oh yeah, I mean, just as usable street torque as the FJR. Tons of low-end torque. A lot of vibration doing it in top gear, but it gets you moving. It doesn't hesitate, it doesn't lug. Let's go down to third. Yeah, it really accelerates about the same in third versus fifth. It's just smoother in third. It's just a different rev range. Really got to get used to these pegs. I have to actually lift my foot up and reach for the shifter. And also the turn signals, it's actually a bit of a stretch for my thumb. It's so comfortable though. I mean, being down this low, I've got tons of bends in the knee. Obviously, I mean, there's nobody that won't flat foot on one of these. Really nice. Do I have a neutral indicator on this? I don't see very many gauges at all. It's got the speedo down there. There it is. I was looking for it earlier. I'm used to looking up in the cowl for gauges, and it has nothing. And I'm very used to putting my feet down. So it does wind out very quickly. I mean, it's got tons of power, but you need to shift this one. It's a low, I can't even tell what RPM I'm at because there's no tack, but it's low. I mean, it feels like maybe 7,500, 8,000 at the most. You hit it very quickly, and I definitely feel the torque ending, and I just realized I passed that guy. Oh well, slow ass. It definitely likes to be kept low, like a Harley, but it's got the power. It doesn't wind out and stop accelerating. It just hits the rev limiter smoothly. Really dig it. Getting a nice breeze on the side of the legs. I can feel my pants flapping. Not used to that because of the cowling on the FJR. This would be just fine for any kind of long trip. I don't have any vibration in the handlebars at all, and the grips are super soft. They've got like a foam on them, and the diameter is very large. Definitely much larger than sport bike grips. Just got to get used to where that turn signal is. It's a little higher, that's what's different. Mine's down where the horn button is, so that's what I was reaching for. Just muscle memory. The only thing I really don't like is that shifter being so high. I have to pick my foot up off of the peg. Yeah, this does not want to turn. It can't make a real tight turn. Just doesn't have it in it. Shifting up is no problem. Where I've got my foot, where it rests naturally, is under the shifter. Just sits there. But I have to physically pick it up. I can't just tilt my ankle because it doesn't tilt that far. It's just at the wrong angle. So I have to pick my foot completely up and kind of stomp on the shifter instead of towing it. So that's a big difference. This would be a real good application for heel toe shifters. And I'm sure you can get boards for this too. That would be really comfy. But the position of the foot pegs, no problem. Yeah, it's got nice torque, nice pickup. I can tell this would be a very good engine for two people with as much, well, with as little difference between fifth and third. That's how you know it's a good two-up bike. Yeah, that's why my FJR is so fantastic for two people. It's just as powerful with two people as most bikes are with one. It's like you have a little four-cylinder Honda Rice Rocket compared to a Hemi V8. Cars alone, they can both be very fast. You load them up with passengers and put the AC on, that's when you see the difference between a V8 and a four-cylinder. It's all in the real power it generates, not just how fast it can go empty. This bike actually feels, speaking of that, pretty darn lightweight. The turn-in is very quick. It just doesn't quite have the real aggressive lean in, probably because of the rake. It is pretty extreme. It feels like that front wheel is a mile ahead of the bike compared to the FJR, where I feel like I'm sitting right over top of it. But it really gives that relaxed feeling to riding it here. I'm really amazed at how smooth it is, because, you know, I'm used to the last Harley we had, or the wife we had, Sportster. Man, that damn thing, it shook all the time. All the time. Even though it was rubber mounted and it was a small displacement engine, not really much power. I think it had, I don't know, 40 horse. Somewhere around there. Let's try first. Yeah, that ain't bad. You just got to get used to the shift pattern. As long as you shift before the rev limiter there, that goes nicely. It's got a good gear ratio. They're short. That's what primarily was throwing me off, because on the FJR, first gear takes you past 60, second takes you to 90, and third gets you into a lot of trouble. Whereas this one, it feels like first is petering out maybe around 45 at the most. It's nice because the power band, like I said, it keeps going all the way to the rev limiter. I can feel it just coming down a little bit, but it's not dramatic. And then you shift into second, and it gives you a real nice kick in the butt. You definitely feel it. You feel the thump of the engine. I feel it in the foot pegs more than anything, then a little bit in the seat, and absolutely nothing in the handlebars. These things feel like they're not even connected to the bike. That's really amazing. The mirrors are rock solid. Very, very thick mounts. Very, very impressive so far. Love the ride height. That is so nice, being this low to the ground. Such a low center of gravity. That might be what throws my sense of the weight off too. Is just, I mean, the engine's all, what, 5 inches above the ground? It's got a real nice rumble through the seat, through the frame when you rev it up a bit. It's actually a little more vibrative as you rev it up. So at these low cruising RPMs, smooth as glass. And then I rev it up here, give it a little gas, and you just feel it. It's nice. And I love the sound. I can hear it real clear through the helmet. It's concussive. That's what I really like. I'm not a fan of the buzzing bee sound or the screaming engine noises. I'm not even a fan of just volume. I like the low end, concussive, hit you in the chest kind of thing, you know? And this has it. I mean, I can even feel it here. I can imagine what it's like on the ground or behind it. It's just that. Love it. And I'm not a cruiser guy. I mean, I've never considered buying one, but I have to say, if I was, this would certainly be at the top of my list. It rides a lot nicer than the Boulevard, at least in my opinion. The Boulevard felt a lot bigger. It felt a lot wider. It might have been a little more sporty, but if I'm going to buy something like this, I want it more for luxury, for smoothness, and for actually cruising. God, I love that sound. I love the kick. Here, just stick it in 5th gear. You just give it some gas. I mean, it sounds like a P51 Mustang. It's got that quality to the acoustics. Down low, giving it gas. That is just awesome. I got the group leader here telling us to slow down, get over. Okay, it doesn't like lugging quite that low in fifth. I don't. It was about 35. So my FJR likes the low RPMs a little bit better as far as smoothness, but dropping down to fourth here cured that. Huh. Wonder how long I had my turn signal on for. I just noticed it was flashing. This is supposed to have self-canceling turn signals. Obviously they didn't. Maybe I just hit it and didn't know it and didn't turn sharp enough. That's one nice thing about Harleys. They will turn off for you after a certain time or a certain angle of bar turn. So you can't forget to turn them off. I have a feeling these are operating just on the angle. Okay, it's still on here. I want to see how long it takes. Then again, maybe this doesn't have self-canceling. They told us that every model except the Super Tenere and FJR did, but you know what? These are not self-canceling. So maybe it's malfunctioning on this unit, or this model doesn't actually have them. So it's not me. Because it definitely would have gone off if it was self-canceling by then. It doesn't take that long after you make the turn. Usually only 25-30 feet. Oh, that was beautiful. Really impressed. The levers feel great too. They're very big and they're smooth. The edges are beveled. Very comfy in the hand. They match the thick, chunky grip of the grips. Love it. Oh man. I just want to stick this in one gear lower than I would want to. And just give it gas to make it sound good. Love the sound of this guy. If you're in the market for a big, beautiful cruiser, definitely check out the Raider. Absolutely. Thumbs up. I'm almost tempted to look at the price. Almost. Because it's very different than the FJR. But it is just as much as fun, let me tell you. And it's got a rear seat, kind of. Kind of. I wouldn't want to sit on it, but... Oh, man. That's a nice. So there you go, guys. There's a test ride. 2015 Yamaha Raider 113. All right, let's go into the show as soon as I find the kickstand. Oh, it's way under there. There's no little barb for it. Huh. All right, one thing I don't like about it. Just one. Woohoo! Let's go inside.